Hello everybody, Malinka here, welcome back. I don't know if you noticed, but I've color coordinated my bookshelf and they look much cuter now. And also in January I read 9 books slash listened to. So let's get started. I finished first The Diary of a Young Girl by Anne Frank. Really loved this. I was afraid to read it because it does happen during the Second World War, when the Jews were persecuted and mistreated, but Anne does not only focus on that situation, she focuses on herself, she analyzes her relation with her parents, her mother, her sister. So from that point of view, it's a very, very nice read, and I was very surprised of her style, of her maturity. I recommend it to everyone. I gave it 4 stars. Next, I finished The Third Way, Social Democracy by Giddens, and unfortunately, I lost the book. I was reading it when I was in the night bus from Cluj to Budapest, and I must have forgot it in the bus, so now I'm in trouble. But the book was pretty good. It does give a new wave of not focusing on the left or on the right of the politics, but finding a central way that focuses on the needs of the society more. So that was the point of the book. Now I have to pay for it. Next, I finished Rich Dad, Poor Dad by Robert Kiyosaki. This is a very famous book, I think in America, maybe Western Europe, not so much in Eastern Europe. I read it and it was very, very unique, and it gave me some insights that I wouldn't have thought of. So it was a pretty fun and quick read. Next, I finished Umberto Eco, The Prague Cemetery. I read it on my phone also while I was in, I don't know, some bus or some train, because I traveled a lot in January. It was an amazing read. I absolutely loved it, and I was sure that this will be my favorite book in January because it had everything I love by Umberto Eco. It has mystery, it had character development, it had complete confusion and then complete clarity, and then the ending was mind-blowing, so I really, really liked it. I was biking a lot when I was here in Szeged, and I decided to listen to Eve's Diary by Mark Twain. I went on this site loyalbooks.com and I went on comedy, and this was the first book that caught my eye, and I decided to listen to it, and it's not comedy, let me tell you that. I was a bit disappointed, and also it's a bit weird when somebody is reading, a man's voice is reading to you the diary of Eve, which is a girl. So it was a bit weird. But it was a nice book, it was a nice novella. It touches on the role of Eve and Adam while they were in the Garden of Eden, and also their situation after being out of the garden. It also gives a more biblical perception of the women. How are they perceived? Too much curious, too much energetic, and if they could just calm down, men could actually love them. And also it gives a hint that Adam betrayed Eve. It was Adam who told God that she was eating from the apple of the knowledge. So it does give a more biblical image of Eve and Adam, and it was a bit annoying because it's very sexist. But it was I guess it was a good novella. I gave it 2.5 stars. The next one was also an audiobook, 3 Men in a Boat, to Say Nothing of the Dog by Jerome K. Jerome. This was also supposed to be a comedy, but it's not like a modern comedy. It's a classic British comedy with a very subtle humor or jokes, or even dark jokes. It was fun listening to it, but I got distracted so many times because it's not a narrative story, it's many stories into one story. So each chapter had like rambling about the dog or about the neighbor or about I don't know who. It was funny, but it was not my favorite. Next, I finished on my phone What Makes Me a Woman. It was a Romanian book and I hated it so much. I wish nobody ever reads it because it's very sexist. It just presents women's role as in the 60s, and I wish nobody would read it or care about that book ever. Next, I read Dan Brown's Inferno. It was a very nice transition from audiobooks, electronic books to actual books. I loved it so much. This was given to me by one of my friends. I loved it very, very much, and it was a very... Dan Brown does not disappoint. I mean, you can love the guy, you can hate the guy, but he doesn't disappoint. In terms of mystery, in terms of history, symbolism, whatever it is, action, it did not disappoint, and it was very, very good. I'm not going to tell you anything else. I cannot wait for the film to come. I'm definitely going to reread it, and I'm thinking of buying all the Dan Brown's books because they were all really good. So I was then in a difficulty because I didn't know if I loved The Prague Cemetery more, or Dan Brown more, or The Diary of a Young Girl, or the next one that I finished, Maya Angelou, I Know Why the Caged Bird Sings. I watched it in one night, actually on the 31st of January. I loved it this much. It was very interesting, very engaging, but also very real and violent, and you know, just like life, it is unpredictable. And it was about Maya Angelou's early years until she had her first child, I think, yes. It was very, very good. And coming from Eastern Europe, from a Soviet background, I cannot identify with what she has been through with. But nonetheless, I did enjoy this book. So then I was even more confused. I did not know which book is my favorite of the month. So I'm gonna stay with my favorite of the month are Anne Frank's diary, Maya Angelou's biography, Dan Brown, and Prague Cemetery by Umberto Eco. I cannot decide on just one. Let me know if you read any of these. Of course, make sure to enter my giveaway. I'm organizing a fun giveaway for the St. Valentine's Day. Link is somewhere here. Thank you so much. Bye bye.